like one of those little whiny girls. Well, I mean, I may have not noticed you sent me the list, but you spelled Dicejunkies wrong.
I know, man.
And he sent it again. Bam.
All right, let's get this started.
Yeah, let's. I think we're supposed to be doing a show.
Yeah, we are.
Stop being a whiny bitch. You spelled whiny wrong, I think. Is that how you spell whiny?
I think it has an E in there. But
Now I got screwed you that you spelled whiny wrong.
he may have spelled it right. We don't know.
Nope. There's supposed to be an E.
Okay.
Yeah, at least you spelled that right. Go for it, man.
Fuck you too, Blood X. All right.
Happy birthday, bro.
Happy birthday. Yeah. Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus, and I'm here with
you.
And we're going to talk about some news. All right, so where do you want to start off? Let's look at some tabletop news. We actually got a couple things in tabletop news this week. We have Pathfinder officially announces Pathfinder 2nd Edition. His release date, which is going to be August 1st, 2019, so coming up here soon. And they also released the prices. Now, I think you can actually get a discounted price right now, I think I saw when I was on the Pazio site for pre-orders.
Do you feel confident enough, though?
No,
after the playtest rules and the money we spent on that playtest book, would you be willing to toss down that pre-order cash?
I'm going to be honest on this, and as much as I like Pathfinder and I like Pazio, this is one that I'm going to go to my local comic shop. I'm going to holler at Travis over at Vans, and I'm going to be like, let me see that book before I buy it.
Yeah, let me flip through this real quick.
Because I was sort of butthurt over the actual playtest being so cheap, poorly done.
Yeah, and it wasn't cheap. And I was kind of expecting to get a little bit more than I got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm worried that the main book is going to be as skimpy because the classes didn't feel as fleshed out as I really wanted.
Well, my big thing is the bestiary too, because I mean they only had the PDF of the bestiary when we did the playtest,
yeah, that was
and I was not happy with that bestiary. So I'm hoping that was just a roughly thrown together something for the playtest and not what the stats on the creatures are going to be for final.
Because we're looking at a $100 price tag. When you got to at least get yourself a bestiary in the main book.
Yeah,
that's not counting even getting into the settings, and that's $100. And while I don't believe Paizo will put out a bad product, $100 to sink in before I flip through this book. Now, I am going to go look online. I've been told by a good friend of ours, Joshua, great, guy writes third-party stuff, big Paizo fan, that I should go take a look. They polished up the rules. If I see a lot of stuff I like, I might do the pre-order. Yeah. But I'm not doing it based off of the playtest.
Well, I'll be a little, I guess. So I actually saw this from, I'm got a couple newsletters from Pazio that I get, and so I clicked on one of those, and it led to their blog page and of course they're talking it up, and the first line, and it just sort of made me shake my head because it was like 20 years of development and play testing and all this stuff, has all wound into this edition, and I'm just like, where was that 20 years when you put out Starfinder? Because
Now, dang it, I was trying to put our boy Josh's name out there, but he's a big Starfinder guy. Now he's going to be like, go strike my name from that video.
Yeah.
Because he's a huge Starfinder fan.
To each their own, but I looked at Starfinder, dude, no.
He's claims that Starfinder has gotten better, too, man. He asked me to go flip through a few of the books at the shop, and that they plugged a couple of the holes in that ship.
Okay.
Because that was also one that when we bought Starfinder, and we looked at it and we went, so, man, how do you feel about playing some Shadowrun? Yeah. I hear Cyberpunk's doing some stuff now. We just moved to a different sci-fi. But honestly, to be fair, just to shoot this out, because we're going to be fair, it was because Starfinder wasn't what we expected.
Yes.
Because we thought Starfinder was going to be Pathfinder in space. and it is not.
Well, some of the things they promised they did not deliver on, you know, because the transition of classes from Pathfinder to Starfinder really wasn't fleshed out like they said it was.
And see, he claims that they put out a book since then for that, which is why I'm going to go check out
that
that
was
book.
One of my big hang-ups on it. The other thing were the way that the actual ships and stuff operated was a little insane.
Yeah, like I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because he usually will back it up by go to Drive Through RPG or go to this site, get this book. So I decided I'm going to go do a research. So you may hear from us on this again after we'll do a second look after I went and looked at Starfinder.
If you pull this page back up too, and you look at some of these books that they're releasing with the Pathfinder. You have adventure sets. You have the bestiary.
Think a campaign.
You have
world.
Yeah, you have world stuff. Where with Starfinder, it came out with a core book, no bestiary, no lore, no
like little paragraph about a planet. And I'm like, you cannot run a planet on a paragraph. And
so that was one of the other things that got me on Starfinder. Where here you do have a lot of extra material. And source material coming out with it. Yeah. So
no, again, like I said, it's like going to be it's a price tag. Like I said, it's going to probably to snag all the books probably about $200.
Well, and I mean, you know me with modules and stuff. I mean,
well, you don't like them, but I do.
I don't really care to pick up those. As far as the lore goes, a lot of the lore is in the core rule book, and we already have previous lore books that we can build off of. So. I mean, from the play test, I do want this to be good because the level of customizability and stuff,
a lot of potential.
Has a lot of potential. Where, you know, and that's something, especially coming off of 5th Ed, which is very simplistic. This is like something where you can be a lot more advanced and sort of create new stories that you can't do in 5th Ed.
But on my end, the biggest thing is that I got to change my statement. I mean, I agree with you more on the modules because here's the thing. Based on the playtest, the biggest issue I had with the main book, other than the bestiary, which is a weird way they were doing that that, was I wanted more rules. Like, I felt like there was a lot more rules that needed to come out with it. So I almost would have preferred to have seen a couple of extra rule books, like maybe expanded classes. Out because the first thing I felt when I grabbed it was, man, but it might be because I was coming off of the first edition and I was like, man, I feel like it's skimpy on classes.
Well, and the skimpy on classes, didn't really bother me that much. I didn't think the customization, the way they had it set up, was as customizable. But I've already heard a lot of the customization stuff has changed to make.
Well, I guess the best thing to do is go flip through some message boards and see what they got going on.
Oh yeah.
Jan Michael Vincent died. Oh, that's sad. Who the hell is that?
I'm not sure.
Some white guy.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, man, I'll put you Blood Axe, man. Rip Airwolf. Airwolf, man. Everybody remembers
Google
Airwolf.
Jan Michael Vincent.
Man, Airwolf was my jam. It's a song, right? Sounds like a song.
It's wow, dude.
What, do you know what Airwolf is?
No, but I mean, I wouldn't be Jan Michael was an American actor. He was no. Okay, never mind. Let's see. He was in Big. He was in The Winds of War.
Or was his name of his character Airwolf? Yeah, he was Airwolf. All right, cool.
Oh, yeah. Stringfellow Hawkeye on the television series Airwolf. I never watched Airwolf. But if anybody's interested, Jan Michael died. Jan Michael Vincent.
Oh, man. All right. RIP, R.I.P., Jan Michael. Oh, man, he lived a while.
He died a month ago.
Like, let's see. What was he, about 60? No, 90? God dang it. What was he? I don't know. I can't do math right
73.
now. 73. I'm old.
Because all the articles in front of you that say dies at 73.
Hey, man. I just woke up like 10 minutes ago. I don't want to hear nothing from you. Spitting eggs all over your desk, man. And
yeah.
Wash it down with some hardcore coffee.
All right. So
no way, then.
back to tabletop. We also have Fallout gets an official pen and paper RPG later this year. Now, this is going to be interesting. I don't know exactly how they're planning on implementing this. It's apparently going to be built off the miniature game. So, you have Fallout Wasteland Warfare tabletop miniature game, and then this tabletop book is supposed to build on top of that as maybe an expansion.
Yeah, but faction-based archetype cards leads me to believe that it's still going to be more miniature than RPG.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly how this is. I mean, this is something I think that is going to be worth looking into, though, because, I mean, it's Fallout, dude. And I would love to see a good tabletop version of Fallout. And the miniatures.
Good one, yeah.
I know our boy Tim on his Paint Labs did a Deathclaw, painted a Deathclaw from this miniature
Well, yeah, I'll
set.
play. Oh, man, I can play a Deathclaw down, man.
And the miniatures are awesome. They look really good. So I wouldn't mind owning some of them, and if I can get a good tabletop game going from them, might do that.
Oh, man, yeah. Brotherhood of Steel for life. Well, so Lion's Pride. Let me clarify that. Lion's Pride, not the. Apparently, that Elder Maxim's a bitch.
But yeah.
Anyway, I still got personal feelings about Fallout 4, man. It's still emotional to me.
Yeah, coming summer 2019. So we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll keep everybody informed on what we see. We'll maybe holler at Vans, our local comic shop, and see if they have some sets up there that we can maybe preview. And
I just hope they kind of do like the old awesome Warhammer Fantasy setting where they had really in-depth NPC write-ups, because it's going to have to, because, I mean, that's what's the great thing about Fallout. It's the world, it's the interaction with the NPCs. So I'm just hoping that you're going to need some good source material.
This is something I think Vampire the Masquerade did with their book. Every copy of the Fallout Wastelands Warfare role-playing game will come with a code to get you a set of free downloadable files, a PDF copy of the rule book. I love when I can buy the physical book and actually get the PDF version as well. So...
No, that's awesome. I'm glad. I like people that put that together. So this ought to be pretty. Oh my God, what the hell's wrong with those dice? Are those bottle caps?
Those are bottle caps.
Oh, thank God. I was like, what the hell? I just saw like something weird looking. What is that gonna? Oh, wait a minute. I wonder if they're gonna be like Savage Worlds, and the Nuka caps are gonna be like those chips that you can spin and do stuff. Bennies. It'll be like bennies. Honestly, I was always shocked that Savage Worlds never put out a Fallout setting. They have the base rules to do it, but
I just couldn't get the licensing for it.
Well, yeah, because Bethesda's been making some sharp decisions.
Oh, let's not talk about Fallout 76 anymore.
I'm heartbroken.
Let's see. Let's talk about Sony. This is something you brought up. Now, this article here, new Sony censorship policies are to meet global standards, says Sony Japan president. Now, this came out about a month ago, or a few months ago. And what spurred us looking at this article was you had saw where some of the Devil May Cry 5 version on Sony had extra censorship that the Xbox and PC versions did not.
Some scenes, depending on your region and the console you're on, use lens flare to block out some fairly minor nudity. I mean, the level of nudity you can literally see on cable TV, which is, the back shot where you see like some butt.
Yeah, which I think if we scroll down a little further on this article, you can see the lens flared buttocks.
Yeah, and I mean, the funny thing to me was just that level of nudity so minor these days. You're just like, dude, like back shots are shown in like Dove commercials at this point.
Yeah,
like, nobody cares. But it's apparently related to the fact that like the main decision makers are now in like California instead of Japan.
Yeah, I haven't confirmed that anywhere from looking.
That's why I said apparently.
But I mean, apparently they're doing the whole global standard thing, so that regardless of where the decisions are making, they're making all their censorship status, all their censorship decisions globally, not per region.
So basically what this does is this means be glad you have the internet. Go order your copy from the UK or something. You know, so you can get the unedited version of the game.
I mean, where I think it's sort of silly, I don't think it affects. I don't think it affects the gameplay or anything, though. I mean, the fact that a buttocks is lens flared out doesn't really destroy my ability to play the game any more or less. I mean, it's a digital buttocks at that, so it's not like, you know.
Hey, don't you hate on SFM, man? But no, here's the issue. It goes back to that old problem though of today it's a minor thing. What'll get taken out next? If you ignore them going, Americans are going to change the game we give you. The reason this goes back is because I'm an old school. Y'all know I'm an old dog. And I remember back in the day us getting different copies of games.
No, I remember with the Nintendo, man. It was real bad with Nintendo. There was so much cut out of Nintendo games, Final Fantasy games, and all this stuff once it came over to America. Not only because of censorship but also because they were like, Americans are dumb and they can't play the harder versions of the games.
So my thing is, I want the real version of a game, period. And also, this really seems like a simple solution because we've seen it on a few games, haven't we? Where you buy the game and when you turn it on, the first thing that pops up is, you know, do you want this? You want to knock this content out? I've seen that where it's like, oh, you know, what, you want the over 18 content or you don't, and you can make your dang selection or go later and change it. They should have just had it pop up on the copy of the game. Do you want the lens flare or not, or the equivalent? Do you want censored or not censored?
I'll be honest. I've always been sort of against corporations and stuff changing material from the actual original creators. I mean, I've always been a big fan of the director's cuts of things because honestly, they've always seemed to be better, and it always made me wonder, like, why did they change this before they put it on the big screen? If the director had it this way, why didn't they just leave it this way? You know, and I think somebody who is creative and does a creative work, you know, let them stand on their creation. I don't know, man. I've just never been big on the commercialization of censorship and changing of a material after a creator has put it together.
Well, even from a financial point of view, this means that there's 2 dang versions of the game out. That's dumb. Just have it be a choice somebody can click so that you don't have to make multiple versions of the damn game. Like then you could just put the game out and somebody can go like, I want, you know, like we want it cleaner, and it's like, okay.
Well, then you're talking about
blood turns green.
You're talking about cost at that point, and I'll be honest. I mean, it may boil down to the global initiative of censorship that Sony has as purely a cost-based thing, because you know it's a lot cheaper to just do one version.
Well, no, they're not just. Well, the thing is, they have 2 versions. I'm saying they should do one version and have the option to turn.
Well,
censorship off.
But Sony only has one version.
Oh,
Sony's only releasing this one version. They're not doing where Xbox. I mean, you see that the Western PC and Xbox One versions have less censorship than some of the other Xbox and PC versions. So they obviously do have some change, you know, multiple versions out there. So,
well, the cool thing about
could
PC
come
is
down
that
to an economical thing and not necessarily a censorship
the
thing.
cool thing about us being PC gamers is somebody will put out a patch or a mod that'll take out all the censorship if we want to.
Dude, PC gamers, somebody will take a mod that just makes everybody naked because.
Yeah, they've already got one out for some of the fighting games already. I'm just like,
yeah, because PC.
Because PCs filled with people that's like, you know what? I think this game needs all nudity.
Yeah. Now what'll be a little harder to mod is what YouTube is doing though.
YouTube will tell you what's true and not true now.
Yeah, so this I know this isn't directly related to geek, I guess, news. I mean, YouTube is sort of part of geek culture now, and being we do have this show on YouTube, it did interest me, and so I sort of wanted to talk about it. But apparently YouTube will soon tell you, you know, basically what it finds to be a conspiracy and that it is false or true. Now, their examples here are like flat earthers and, you know, anti-vaccinators and stuff like that they consider, you know, obviously false or obviously true. But anytime something like this happens, I'm always worried about where that line is drawn. And it looks like they're getting these fact-checked by the Quint. So at that point, you're also putting your fact-checking into somebody else's hands.
And that's where because the thing is, I don't think this is bad on the surface, but my biggest concern is I said, how is this not going to eventually slide into political? Eventually, some article that's going to be considered relevant to one group or another is going to get tagged as a hoax, and it's just going to blow up.
I mean, if you look at some of the other fact-checking places, where they fact-check political speeches and stuff like that, you can go to two different ones and get two different answers, depending on the fact-checker you're on how many times Trump lies, I mean, it's because it's partially up to the opinion of whoever's doing the fact checking.
Yeah, I mean, imagine a video that on the surface doesn't immediately flag as political, though it is. Like if somebody were to say most of the drugs that enter the country enter through the ports instead of over land. Well, on the surface, like, oh, that's a story about how drugs get in the country. But no, that also gets into the wall when you go deeper into it. So if that gets fact checked, it could spark a political debate, even though on the surface, it's really just tracking criminal activity and how something's getting into the country. So I foresee this becoming political. I don't think it's a bad idea because, honestly, I like fact-checking.
Well, I think relating something to false or fact is maybe not the best way to do it. Maybe relating it to controversial. Just tag something controversial instead of saying that it's fact or false.
You're really right, though, too. Also, all of it, like Wudan Bai says, how's it going to be done, algorithm or human? If it's only the Quint, that's a lot of power to put in one fact-checker's hands. I'd rather it was fact-checked against 2 or 3 sites just to kind of avoid... Because it better be the Quint's fault. How many companies have we seen recently where one jackass gets a hold of their Twitter account and just starts saying crap? So what if Jimmy, the sensitive boy, and note that could be sensitive either way, gets on there and decides this is all lies and just tags a bunch of stuff as lies, and the Quint's like, oh crap, that just really skewed all our information. Because we're learning that apparently professionalism is out the door these days.
Well, yeah, not to mention, I mean, we've had professionally moderated stuff that has had stuff be slipped in that was fake. I mean, if you go, there was the big maps controversy not that long ago where there was like I can't remember what it was, but there was some symbol that was basically embedded into the maps over a certain country that was very rude, and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting how that goes. Subotter says it will more than likely be via algorithm. Well, I think to start the fact check, it will probably be on their algorithm. Like they'll search for, but then the fact check will then hit this other site. I think the Quint, which is actually manually done fact checks. So
basically, it's going to be YouTube's going to introduce a system that's going to conspiracy flag certain videos, and that's going to be a shit show. Now, it'll probably draw a lot of attention to YouTube and bum up some business. So I need to say something false. White people are descended from aliens from Mars that have already destroyed their home planet and are now trying to take over Earth by living among us. And they're lizard people. Bam. That should get flagged.
That's not a lie, though.
Oh, yeah.
That explains a lot.
I'm pretty sure that's
true. But it doesn't matter if it's a lie or not. Does the Quint agree is what matters.
Yeah, no, it is all about Wooden Ball says it's all about advertising on YouTube, and yeah, that's probably where it boils down to. Every month it seems like there's some new thing that has become uproared on YouTube and has scared away advertisers. I think last month it was the whole
child molesters,
child videos with children in it, and the comments that are being made.
Which I don't know why that scared away advertisers, because I'm kind of like, it's comments, man. You can't. That's the internet. Like,
well, yeah. Well,
Also,
now they
idiots
you know what they
so
did. You know what they did to fix that, right?
They started just.
They
knocking
just
channels.
disabled content. They disabled comments on any video with children in it.
That's probably for the best. I mean, as long as they're not disabling the content itself, it's like, okay, whatever. Because honestly, I don't read comments on YouTube. I don't care what anybody. I read it only when I decide to go say something offensive, like that.
We read all the comments that people put on our videos on YouTube. Do not let Q lie to you.
Yes.
I read the comments put on our videos. Do not think that Q's choice not to read them means they are unread.
Yeah, sure.
That's probably more true.
That's far more true. But I mean, I actually meant when I watch YouTube videos anyway. I was saying, like, when I'm watching other people's YouTube videos, I rarely stop at the end of the video to go read the comments.
No, I rarely, unless I want to comment something on a video, I do not tend to look at the comments
if idiots
other
wanna,
people's videos.
And if idiots want to sit up there and raise a red flag against themselves, that's good. Be a dummy and make a weird comment about a kid so we can put you on a report and keep an eye on you. Like, that makes life easier. It's like, oh, man, that kid's cute. Flag. There should be a little site where they just got a little list. They just keep adding people's names to it. It's like, don't you dare protect those people, YouTube. We need to know who they are. I need to know if, like, I'm following you. Like, oh, hey, man, I like these guys' shows. Wait a minute. What did he say about that 12-year-old gymnast? Oh, okay. Send an email to the FBI. Hey, I've screenshotted this comment and sent it to my lawyers at the FBI. Have you found out what that meme is yet, or do you not?
No.
You still don't know? Okay. Good, because you probably would punch me. I really should not be saying that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so.
It involves that whole thing with the voice actors.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yes.
So. All right. So I think that wraps up. Do we have anything else to talk about here on the news before we...
Did you forget about the Anime Con?
Did we? Oh, yeah, that's right. We were just at Anime Fest in Mississippi.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, Jackson, Mississippi. What did you think, man?
It was great seeing our people again, man. Of all y'all out there who are watching, which is probably none of the people I'm talking to right now, but when you watch this video later, it was great seeing you. I mean, I'm not gonna start butchering the names, so call out everybody because I'm terrible with names. Like, I'll remember, 3 names and probably will say them wrong.
I told you about it, Subotter, back when we were on the Gulf Coast. I can't help you didn't remember.
Oh, Bloodaxe can holler about it. Bloodaxe went to go see Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I've actually heard it wasn't so bad. It's actually pretty good, and it answers a bunch of questions. So
I've heard it's about mediocre.
I'm actually looking. I'm probably going to go watch it.
We know you'll say that would end by.
I'll probably now.
Your
Once again,
means nothing to me.
I had people overload at the Anime Fest. I hadn't been to a con since October, and it takes me a bit to get used to being in crowds. And being this was a smaller con, it only took up half of the normal space that the bigger cons do. But it almost had the audience of the normal con, so it was packed. And so my anxiety sort of started flaring up, and I was quite uncomfortable for a while.
Well, to Dollar and our boys in the chat, yeah, what I've heard is that the first couple acts were slow, but the third act was good. Almost everybody says that the final act was high action, was pretty good. People loved Samuel Jackson. They said his CGI looked amazing. He looked a lot younger. The de-aging was apparently really good. The cat was amazing. The funny thing I just never hear is nobody says that actually the main actor was good. I keep hearing, oh man, Sam Jackson, the main villain, yeah, oh, the cat. I'm like, oh, Rambo, the Monica Rambo, or whatever her name, I think it's Monica Rambo? Rambo, her friend was awesome. I'm like, what about Captain Marvel? And most people are like, yeah, so Samuel Jackson looked great. I'm like, oh, okay.
Like I said, as the
but not a bad
movie. As the crowds die down in a theater, I'll probably go see it because it does sound like it answers a lot of stuff. So
you can't go, man.
Wooden Ball says she was great.
You can't go. I can go, but you can't.
Shut up. So Wooden Ball says she was great. So now you've heard somebody.
Oh, wow. First person I've heard say that. I mean, like I said, it sounds like I've seen it get rated 7 out of 10 and 8 out of 10 by people I respect a good bit. Mm-hmm. So I decided the movie must have at least been pretty decent because these are fellows that are pretty harsh on movies and they still gave it a reasonable rating. I still don't have a lot of interest in it, but that's because I already know what the stinger is. And the stinger is the only part I was interested in.
Yeah.
Like finding out how does this tie to the main. Right?
Yeah, our editor just pulled up the Rotten Tomato scores, but I mean, I don't know.
Those aren't pretty good for an MCU movie.
Yeah, but also I don't know. Did they get rid of the whole Spamageddon thing? Or?
They've removed over 50,000 views, man. You have not been following this.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, there was 50,000 views that they removed to get the score up,
and it's still at 57%.
Yes.
So.
But it was, hey, dude, they worked hard to get that 57. It was at like 32 for like a bunch of days. So how dare you take light of the work that they're doing to try to help this movie? I'm impressed they got that up.
I don't know. Right now, I can't trust Rotten Tomatoes. I will have to. I mean, that's all I can say. I can't trust them right now. I've got to go watch it myself and see.
All I'm going to say is that it got beat out by How to Train Your Dragon. Excited. Look at those scores on How to Train Your Dragon. Like that's like the 5th How to Train Your Dragon movie,
and has more user ratings.
Well, no. Hey, there were a lot more user ratings for Captain Marvel. If you add that 50 to the 48 on there, that's like 90,000.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm gonna defend them on that. Captain Marvel had far more ratings.
But no, Anime Fest, it ended up being a good con. I enjoyed it. Like I said, got to see a lot of people that we haven't seen in a while. With the cosplayers, Suzanne cosplay, Little Miss cosplay, Pixel Vix. We saw Ray Bray. Little Red Fox,
and also our soon to be joining us.
And then Tay Cosplay, who'll be joining us soon on our Thursday board game night. So she was there with Vans, our local comic shop, who was running the tabletop gaming area at the con.
We also saw our favorite Asian. Our
Tai
favorite
Chi.
Full-blooded Asian, since apparently, I don't know if we caught you saying that. It's like a full-blooded Asian Tai Chi. We've got a 100% Asian cosplay, which I didn't even know we were counting that. Like, wow. Like, Zeno just walks up and he's like, no, man, those other folks are like 50%. We need like 100. I'm like,
I didn't say it like that. You said you wanted an Asian on the show.
Again.
And he was like, "Oh, well, you had Rachel," and I jokingly said, "Well, Rachel's only half Asian."
And I just looked at you in horror, like I didn't even know. Why do you even know that?
Because she told me. It's not like
the part you remember.
It's not like I went back into her family tree. It was like, "No, bitch, you only half Asian."
Give her a glass of water to go wipe the spit off the edge and send it in, like the site to get ancestry.
We were over at Certifiable Games playing darts, and the other half Asian I know was there, and I made a joke about half Asian and darts, and then she told me, "Hey, I'm half Asian too," and I was like, "Oh, I did not know that."
So it's just purely by chance that the white half of Dicejunkies knows the racial composition of all of our guests. I know how much Asian they are. Oh, man. I just like Tai Chi's face when she's immediately like, oh, okay, good, then I'm 100. Yeah, I got you. And I'm just like, nah, you can't flap Tai Chi. Like, that dude is a rock. I've said every horrible thing I can think of to him, and he just is like, it watched off like, yeah. And I was like, what? Did somebody warn you? That's what I think. I think our editor has warned Tai Chi about me.
She's probably warned everybody.
Like, Q's going to say some effed up stuff to you.
Because she'll tell us to meet people. And I'm thinking, she's like, oh, yeah, you should meet this person. I've already warned them about you.
Yeah, we were standing at that table she was at, and I was just like, I'm a terrible person. And she's like, no, but everybody knows that. I said, oh, good.
Yeah. I've been telling everybody.
Said, I'm not delusional. I understand you hate
know,
me. And
so
it's
they're
good.
prepared for what you say. What
Yeah,
comes out
yeah.
of your mouth.
I only said bukkake like 5 times at the ABC
Yeah, you
con.
did. Very loudly next to the gaming area. I was a little uncomfortable at that moment. I will admit.
Well, I was talking about your face when I said it. Yeah, you should have been uncomfortable.
Wow. All right. So let's.
So
Anime Fest. It was great, guys.
yeah, that's
Got
what I'm talking about. ABC Con knows how to throw a party.
Now, our guys over at ABC Con who did not fire us.
I did not know, like, what the heck? Everybody's like, don't tell people we fired. I'm like, okay, man, my bad.
Our great.
ABC Cons with a warning label. They now wear name tags so you know who was rude to you.
Yeah.
So, like, if
Yep.
you see, look out for that dude with the name tag that says Eric.
If you don't see the name tag, just say it was Michelle.
No,
don't
don't
say
do
name tag, it was
that. Don't
probably
do that.
He was like, I ain't wear no damn name tag. I was like, all right. Nah, I'm what Jay would tell you to the face. Tell him Jay sent you.
Yeah.
He's a man's man.
All right, so that's got to be it for the
Did we
news.
actually talk about the con itself? They had games, and Vans Comics was there representing. My boy was cutting deals.
Warp
Travis.
Zone, man. Warp Zone was fun. Yeah.
Oh, dude, y'all guys got we searched some stuff about Warp Zone. We got a little interview with him. Retro games. He found a bunch of old school cabinets.
Yeah.
Me and my boy were talking about.
So
we're gonna go.
if you find yourself in Jackson, Mississippi, you should head over to Warp Zone.
Yeah,
if you like
Crossgates.
some old games and stuff.
Special shout out to my tabletoppers. He has D&D 1 and 2, man, the arcade version. We're gonna go out there and play through it.
Yeah, I
wanna
told them
play
we're probably gonna live stream it, man.
I want to go from
wanna
beginning
live
to
stream
end
it.
on that, man. I used to love that. I used to sit in the arcade for an hour, spend like $20 going from first level to the end of that game. Because if you continue, you keep your levels, run through that game in one go. Good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed. Like I said, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, share, leave us comments down below on what you thought about the topics we talked about today, and I will actually read them. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, every Sunday at 3:30. Watch us live. Join us in the chat room. And if you want to support us, you can check us out on Patreon. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Notification bell.
Yeah. Thanks for watching this part. If you're watching us live or on the podcast, we'll be rolling into Random Encounters right after this. If for a little while, Random Encounters was attached to this on our YouTube channel because our editor fucked up. All right, let's go into Random Encounters.
Oh my God, we should have had the camera on. That face was filled with all the wrath of every woman that has been angered by Xeno, which was a lot of wrath.
Yeah, no, I had to go back and edit the end of the video because it was like we had our news segment, then it was just black for a few minutes, and then it went into Random Encounters, and that was.
You're gonna do this live, dude. You're gonna do this live.
Yeah.
Like literally
Yeah,
live. You're gonna bitch at the editor. We're not paying live.
This is
You bully who you want.
Yeah,
I
I bully who I want.
You're gonna be bullying your way to editing your own videos.
Hey, how about you edit this time?
Hell no. I love you, editor. You're so nice.
That's right, you do. Now do the Random Encounters.
Yeah, I'm upside with her because I ain't editing shit. I don't even read. I don't even read the comments on the YouTube videos.
Oh.